I work in a small market with a lot of boutique in the same practice area where everyone seems to know each other. I lost my position and searching for a new one. I'm worried that I will either be blackballed or the fact that one firm in the market laid me off will preclude other firms from hiring me. I asked a few prior questions in the same webinar. My apologies in advance for any redundancy. Okay, so the answer to that is no, you can't worry about it. You cannot worry about it. And you just need to go and apply to every single one of those firms. So apply everywhere. That's it. I don't know what the market is, but you apply everywhere. Don't worry about it. The point of the matter is, as I said this earlier, 30% of the people that know you, 30% of people will like you. I'm sorry, like you. 30% don't care. Well, it's actually one third. So it's 33, whatever. 33 percent don't care. And then 33% will like you or will not like you. Percent will not like you. So it's the same thing with attorneys. 33% of the people in that market may like the attorney you work for. 33% won't like them. 33% won't care. It's ridiculous and it's not true to think that everyone talks to each other. So if you were in a class at school and you graduate with 40 people, you wouldn't 33% that you probably dislike, 30%, all these sorts of things. So you don't want to assume that all those people will talk to each other. The other thing is and this is actually very important to understand. So this is something for any attorney that's ever worried about being blackballed, for any attorney that is fearful about this stuff. It's very important to understand. Very important. Most attorneys, there's an understanding in the legal market that is followed more by large law firms and smaller markets, but it's very important to understand. It's there is that attorneys do not talk negatively about people that have worked for them, or that's it. So they do not talk negatively about people that have worked. So they just don't. If they do that, then it makes the attorney that's talking about the person negatively look bad. You want to, at the good firms, the best firms, people leave there and good things happen to them. It's a statement of the quality of the firm if good things are happening to the people that leave. It's not a good statement of the quality of the firm if the firm just says how bad people are and hates them, because why would anybody, that's not good. In larger markets and larger firms and the more prestigious firms, this is less pronounced, but this also happens in a lot of even smaller markets. I just want to tell you a quick story about something that I thought was really showed me this. Attorneys that I know are very careful about saying negative things about other attorneys when they lose jobs. So that's one thing to understand. The other thing I just wanted to tell you a quick story. There was a woman once that I was working with, and I said, "What happened at your firm?" And I think she had been at Simpson Thatcher or something, very prestigious firm. I'm not saying it was Simpson Thatcher, but it might have been, but it was some. Anyway, so I said, "What happened at your previous firm?" And she said something like, "I had a psychotic break and I was acting crazy. I took off my clothes and ran through the halls. It wasn't that bad, but it was something along those lines. And the firm is very understanding. I went to a psychiatric hospital for 3 weeks and then I came back and I was medicated, thought everything was under control. But then I had another psychotic break and I threw a pot of coffee in a partner's face or something. Literally something that was like that bad. Couldn't believe it. And she said, "But I have good references." I said, "Oh, great." And so I called these references because very prestigious New York firm. And they were like, "Oh, she was great. We loved her. She's nothing negative to say about her. I think she's going to make a fine attorney." And wow, I knew something completely different. So what does that mean? That means that the best law firms, the best places to work will never say something negative about the people that leave or they have problems with, even in almost the most dire of circumstances, because lawyers are expected to have other lawyers' backs. And that's just how it works. People that don't do that, it's problematical. Everyone does not know each other in whatever market you're in. And many times that the fact that a firm laid you off is a bad sign to them. You can say they didn't have the work or there wasn't enough work or there was some issue or whatever. But you can, most of the time, if it's a small market, people will be happy to hear that there were issues of the other firm. So I would really be honest with you, I wouldn't worry about it. And I would think, and any firm that's going to talk negatively about you is actually making themselves look worse. And it's actually bad on them. So I personally, if that was me, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I would just apply to a lot of places. And then the nice thing is when you lose a job, everyone's talking about losing jobs today. When you lose a job, you can just go back to your next job and learn with all those lessons, just be 10 times better attorney. So you learn what's important and what you can't do wrong. And then instead of having sour grapes, that's what you should do. So that's my opinion.